Hey everybody, it's your buddy Rock here, and we're looking at a 55-gallon African Cichlid tank. Not set up your traditional way, and there's a few different ways I mean by that. If you look at the substrate, I have gravel instead of sand. African cichlids typically like sand, but they will move the gravel around. You can definitely get away with the gravel. Now we're going to get into a quick topic here. Now, let me just tell you that this is just a helpful video for some people because I've looked for this video. Who knows how many views it'll get, if it'll get any views. It's not what it's about. It's just trying to help people in the hobby. Because I've seen many different hobbyists or elitists to tell you that you cannot or should not mix African cichlids from the 3 different lakes. And if you're a beginner, there's 3 main lakes. There's thousands and thousands of different African cichlids, but the main ones are your Peacocks, your Haps, your Mbunas, and then your ones from Lake Tanganyika. Okay? Now, it's been said that it's known for a fact that these fish pretty much do not cross each other's paths too often. Although you will see some Haps and some Mbuna cross paths in the lakes. I've seen those videos, even Peacocks, but the lakes, you got to understand, and the lakes are so big, and the rockscape and landscape is, the scape is so huge that they just pass right by each other like they're not even there. And the Mbunas can, pretty much all the fish in the real lake can defend their territories with no problem, even if they cross paths with each other. Okay, so now bringing it back into our home here, into our fish tanks, our aquariums. So with the 55 here, you'll see there's a main red Obi peacock there. Okay, I'm staying a little bit far away. Just forgive me. I'm on an iPhone here, and due to the LED lights, it'll start going out of focus here. So there's the main red Obi peacock. There's a lemon jake. There's a sunshine or sulfur taking a nice healthy dupe. Those are 3 of the original fish, along with the big yellow lab in the back over here. And then we start getting into the Alto Calvuses, which I'd like to show you them because mine are actually pretty nice looking, and I get all my fish from Absolute Fish in New Jersey, Clifton, New Jersey. Shout out to them, Mike and Glenn over there. I recommend that you go there for freshwater or saltwater, especially African cichlids. They have the most, some of the most beautiful fish there. But anyway, so this tank has seen many different iterations, and it pretty much had started off with all Peacocks, 1 Mbuna, which was this main big guy here, Sonny, the yellow lab. And over time, I added the 2, shortly after, but the 2 Alto Calvuses. Then I decided to add a couple more Peacocks. Like I said, they were in there. Long story short, with Peacocks on Peacocks in a 55-gallon tank, it's not a good idea. I'm just going to tell you, there's a 75-gallon tank, there's the lids for it and whatnot, but the tank is sitting over there. For argument's sake, why don't we just, put that in? Yeah. Okay, so the upgrade is coming. But, yeah. You do not want to, over time with the Peacocks, what'll happen is they'll start lock lipping a lot, and you will get tanks escaping from fish being scared, and they will just pound each other into a very poor quality of life, and you find yourself constantly trying to figure out what to do next and how to solve that problem. Sure, you can get a quarantine tank, you can take one of the guys out that is acting up. Ultimately, when you do that, because I've gone through a process of elimination, trying to build my tank around some of the most beautiful ones, like this guy, King. I just, he's a really good tank boss. He's always been that way, but he will fight sometimes with this main tank boss in Mbuna. So there's really different tank bosses in one tank when you do a setup like this, which is odd because normally there's only one tank boss. Now you see them right there. You see this is not good. I'm kind of glad this is happening, but this is not good news for the Peacock, because the Mbuna, in my opinion, will win that fight 1,000 times out of 1,000 in most cases, due to their ability to maneuver so well, especially in a 55-gallon tank. It's only 12 inches compared to an 18-inch 75 gallons. So your Peacock, who he's almost a full-grown Peacock for the most part, 6 inches long, 3 inches body width, and he's still gonna lose against Mbuna like him, and the life can get very difficult. Those two are the only ones that sometimes act up, and there might be a quick shot to one another, and then they move on. Especially being that yellow labs are known to be very docile in the Mbuna world. So I wound up having to take out mainly all of my Peacocks due to the fact that they were living a poor quality of life. And I really feel like this would have happened in a 75-gallon tank as well with all the Peacocks, but you will have a much better success rate. So, like I said, a lot of people look at this and say you should not be mixing these types of Peacocks and Mbuna, and then the Altos, and there's also 2 trophies in here, which is also a very bad idea according to most people to put with Mbunas. But it's all about timing. It's all about how you introduce the fish to the tank. Could this setup here, which has been really great for a long time, not a long time, I'd say right now, a good three months with the new Mbuna, but a good 8 months with the Peacock, the other Mbuna. That, like I said, the tank's been up for almost 2.5 years, but the Altos have been here from the beginning. The Calvuses, they have been here from the beginning. It's only the small new Mbunas like this Afra albino, the yellowtail Aussie, the red dwarf Mbuna there, red top dwarf Mbuna. Those are only a couple months old, but another thing I had to do, there's a male lab here, and obviously he's a male, so I had to add 2 female yellow labs in here, that's not even the right ratio either, but again, this is it's a pretty good balance. So I would just say to the people in the hobby, you've heard this 1,000 times from many more experienced fish keepers than myself, but know the type of fish you're getting, write it down, do some research on how big they get. There is no rhyme or reason with these fish. They're African cichlids. They are berserk. They can go berserk at any given moment, and all of a sudden your happy little world just gets tossed upside down, and you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Now, luckily, I've been pretty fortunate where I haven't lost fish due to aggression, other than possibly one in 2 years. I mean, that's pretty good with going through your different iterations of tanks. So yeah, I just like to set the record straight that you can get away with it, but with mixing, now there's certain ones you definitely want to stay away from, you don't want to mix certain Lake Tanganyika fish with each other, and obviously South American cichlids are out. We're only talking African cichlids here. So again, this setup has worked a little bit, and as you see, I actually had to add some slate, just so the baby Mbunas, when I first put them in, didn't get snatched up by the main Peacock or even the Calvuses, because Calvuses are they will eat other fish, so you got to be careful. So yeah, that's not ideal because it doesn't really match the scape, and that's another thing I just wanted to hit on before we close this video out. It's pretty long, sorry for that, but Another thing that you want to make sure of that's kind of hard to do is with the peacocks, they're open water swimmers. So as you see this Sulfer here, his name is Colby Sunshine. They're also called he's got purple with the yellow head tail, yellow head stripe all the way from head to tail. And the lemon jake, they're open water swimmers. He wants to swim. He wants to swim around. King, he's not as much right now because he's actually eating an algae wafer right now, but he'll do it too. He just doesn't have enough room, and that's one of the downsides. But as the scape goes, Mbuna, you obviously know they like a lot of decor, a lot of rock. They like to hide and make places, and actually, contrary to the popular belief, some of the peacocks actually do enjoy that as well. But for the most part, they like that. But if you go down that road where you scape your whole tank and you scape it for Mbunas, now you're cutting back the purpose of what you really want for the peacocks, which is open water. So it could really, when these Mbuna grow, which is going to be only a few months from now, I could find myself in some deep trouble, which is why the 75 gallon is coming in. So, yeah, it can work, but minimum 75 gallon tank for long-term success. And yeah, I hope this helps some people. If you want to look at this skeep that I have and see that you can get away with it, but again, it's hit or miss. Thanks, everybody.